Let's go, it's the Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. So the main idea of this whole Guardian story is basically there's a war going on, and your tribe is basically the only good flying owls because every other flying creature out there seems to be like the biggest a-holes around, and they just want to destroy everything, and you kind of just want to have peace. And you take control of the main character in this game. His name is Shard, and you basically go around these different areas, I guess, and you gather like a unit or bigger clan to fight the evil one. So it's like kind of like Lord of the Rings in a way, and it does a good enough job to show that war is really nothing but other people killing other people, but in this it's owls killing owls and bats and crows and shit. So overall it's a pretty good game for a war story made for children, but expect a lot of filler in between, you know, because it is a video game and it's not, you know, based exactly on the books or the movie. The graphics for the most part are decent. Some of the effects look really cool, like shattering armor and just like dashing, and some of the actual animations of diving into like the floor and shit look great. However, some of the environments just feel like reused. Basically, when you go to one climate area, say the snow, every level on that area looks like the same thing. Yes, it's a snow level, but nothing really looks different. It's basically like if you go to the desert and the snow, they're the same thing. It's just there's snow covering the rocks, and in the other one there's nothing covering the rocks, but it looks exactly the same. The only one that's really different is the jungle, and that's not that different. So I feel they were a little lazy on design, but overall the graphics aren't terrible, and the owls look pretty cool when they're beating the shit out of each other. Basically, the game consists of just flying around. No, I'm kidding. Basically, you fly around and beat the shit out of other flying creatures like bats and owls and crows and anybody else that's not on your team, because, man, these guys really do want to destroy you. So the gameplay consists of flying, consists of, you know, following the bad guys sometimes. It consists of taking down catapults and stuff by picking up like fire bombs and just dropping it on them, or actual flying combat with the other owls and stuff. And basically you use all the different buttons to do special attacks. One button will just do regular attacks, another will grab them, another will bash them in the face with your skull to break their armor, and then another one will actually skydive them into the ground. So there's all these different attacks that you get to use, and the combat is not bad for what it's doing. You're using owls to fight, and a lot of these flying games really are boring to me because basically you're just shooting missiles and you don't really get up close. And this, you fly towards that owl and you bash your skull into their face. You're like, damn, I just knocked the fuck out of that owl or crow or bat or whatever you're facing. So I thought it was kind of cool. And yes, it is a kid's game, and yes, the combat can get repetitive, especially when you get to the 4th and 5th level and you're doing the same shit. But up until that point, and even past that point, you will still have fun bashing the shit out of other flying animals. So the gameplay does a good enough job. The only negatives I have to say is sometimes the camera is wonky. Like you're targeting and then all of a sudden you smash into the ground because your owl's like flipping out. That's the only thing. And your friendly AI is mentally retarded. They will actually bash into the ground more than you will. If they're following you, you'll hear them behind you smash into the ground. You're like, what the fuck can they possibly be doing? If I can fly straight, why can they not? But a cool feature I will mention is that you can use team attacks and basically send your owl companions to attack the owls by filling up your special meter. So that's cool and definitely a different thing than in most flying games. So overall, the combat is actually pretty fun. And it's different than what I expected. You're not gonna, you know, say this is shit. There's not too many glitches. The only really bad things, as I mentioned, are the AI and that the combat will get a bit repetitive by the end of the game. When I was younger, I did read some of the books, and I totally forgot about this series until the movie was announced, and I saw the game, I rented the game, and to my surprise, I'm actually enjoying it. I actually enjoyed this game. It's not an amazing game by any means, but it's actually a fun children's game, and it could be good for adults too. If you like the series or you've read the books or you want to see the movie, it actually works. If you want to fly and smash bats in the face with your claws and rip them apart, well, you can't rip them apart, but you know what I mean, and then throw them into the ground, this game will, you know, be there for you. If you don't like any of that stuff, this game might not be for you. Then you wouldn't be watching this review. But overall, this is actually a pretty good game. I suggest anybody who's interested in the series at all to at least check it out. And if you have kids, this is definitely one of those games that where they can be entertained for a while, and it's actually a good and fun game, and you might want to join playing them. So it's overall a good damn game for a movie game and a kids game. And yeah, check it out. Hoo-hoo! That was the worst owl impression, I know. I just wanted to try really bad, and I'm not even going to take a second take on that. It probably sounds terrible. I don't even care. I'm going to shut up.